The Church of the SubGenius, Educational Outreach, Lecture Reel number 273.0, Lessons in Questioning. We're here to talk about that man, J.R. Bob Dobbs, the Bob that we love and pay. And as we pay him, we know he loves us. The real Bob, the true Bob, the friendly, smiling, always welcoming Bob. And yet, he is the man of a million faces. One Bob, the Bob we perhaps know best, is the party guy that everybody admires. The fun dude, the swinging meat Bob. He's a real live wire. You never know what he's going to be up to next. If a person loves Bob enough, they may actually become literally one of his pipes. We also know Bob the inventor, Bob the joker, the comedian, the wise guy, master of the stoogely arts. What a card. And yet, he is also Bob the fighter, the warrior, the Kung Fu master J.R. Bob Dobbs, the hero Bob, the studly Bob, and of course also the nerd Bob, same as the hero Bob. And of course the lover Bob. Oh yes, Bob is a lover, adults only, and yet he can suddenly become the childlike innocent Bob of Christmas time. He can be the jungle Bob, while simultaneously the money Bob. But most of all, he is the salesman Bob. That's the Bob we know and love and can never escape. For salesman Bob is everywhere. And, except for his enemies, he is everybody's friend, whether they know it or not. He is likewise the benefactor and protector of all creatures of nature who are capable of returning his love. The animals and many plants know his heart is true, and all the creatures of the forest love him. Among men, he is the greatest and most handsome, most heroic, most manly, and above all, most humble man who has ever walked this earth. All celebrities love him. They must love him very, very much in special celebrity ways. He makes everyone around him gay. People go crazy for Bob. The Bob nerds, the Bobbies, are numberless, and their enthusiasm is boundless. They're crazy for Bob, yes, crazy for that man J.R. Bob Dobbs, if he is indeed a man. Thousands flock to his sales lectures, hoping upon hope to learn his secrets. Countless famous artists, great scientists, and world leaders have studied his word, or even studied under him. Of course, he has followers, customers, and fans spanning the globe, everywhere, planet-wide. Sadly, many foolish and jealous merehumes attempt to emulate Bob, believing they can somehow become like him, or that they are him. So sad. But who is Bob? Who is this man Bob really? He is like your dad should be, and yet he's like your friend's dad. And yet he's not like any of them at all. They want to be like him, they try, and yet he is a child at heart. He is everything to everyone. He can be the holy Bob, or he can be the silly Bob. He sees you as you see him. And of course, the girls, the women, and others lust for Bob. For Bob is a sex god. A pagan fertility demon, some would say. Yes, women love Bob. They even try to use him as an ingredient in their cooking. But where would Bob be without Connie, his true Yeti mate? Sweet, sweet sweet Connie Dobbs. She urges him on to seek new, unimaginable forms of slack with her. And yet, she is his reality check. For where Bob has luck, Connie has brains. Some call her the brains behind Bob, the BBB. Much like Bob, Connie can seem like anything to anyone while staying herself. She wears that many hats. Countless in their bottomlessness are the mysteries of Connie Dobbs. Does she really have 2 camel toes? She has taken many, many roles in her position as Bob's helpmeet, leading us into the end times. She was the one who first introduced him to sex on a flying saucer, just as he introduced her to the vices of his various sexy alien customers. Indeed, to Bob and Connie, what we would call hideous monsters are to them like beloved adopted children. They possess love for all beings across the galaxy, except the bad ones, or those they just don't like very much. And another thing they love is ice cream. Their favorite flavor is Choco Nure. Dig in. Many are the tall tales and even kids' TV cartoon shows about the wild adventures of Bob and Connie in space. But in real life, they have more, shall we say, earthly interests. They have enough adventures in their private, kinky time when they like to do things that some people might like to do. Would you like to be palpated on the ankle? Would you like to have Bob breathe on you with his pipe breath? Would you like him to rub some fake blood from your calf? Oh, he will need you, and in the end you will become Bob's, or you will perhaps cross over, break on through, and yourself become Bob, making sweet love to his and yourself at once. But some harbor suspicions about Connie. Does she steer Bob as he would wish? Can she do otherwise? Some say she is the only one who can. Some say that she indeed uses Bob for her own unknown, unguessable, unseemly ends. Could she and certain friends be quietly pushing him in directions he might not normally go on his own? Sometimes even the most devout, in fact especially the most devout, must wonder if Bob is truly what he says he is. Could the conspiracy have crept in? Could they have somehow changed Bob in some way? Could there be entities behind the scenes manipulating and tainting the pure slack of the being we think of as the one true Bob, mashing and crushing his spirit, his very mental life itself, into new, unfamiliar forms, altering his sweet, slackful nature into something slightly less pure, something a little pink, a little plastic. Who would have the power to do such a thing? Who but them? Or have we been fooled by Bob himself? Was Bob ever truly the kindly salesman we like to think he is? Or was there always something darker behind his smiles? Are we but rats in some unspeakable maze, caged subjects of Bob and Connie's experiments? Think about it. When exactly did Bob start forcing us to learn about Planet X the hard way? And when did the strange rituals begin? Have these unclean rituals been being performed all this time? This could not possibly be Connie's doing. Could it? Surely not. The so-called sacred scribe, church accountant Reverend Ivan Stang, has admitted to many failed attempts to create Dobbs clones or homunculi or even AI simulacra of his brain, and misguided imitators have tried to finish what Stang started. To what dire doom could Stang be inadvertently ferrying Dobbs and the church? Either way, few can deny that Bob has his dark side, as we would call it, for who can pretend to know Bob's real plan and destiny? A different, sometimes menacing side of Bob has emerged. He is no longer always the kindly, jolly, carefree Bob. We used to think he was doing satire when he displayed some of the worst aspects of conspiracy behavior. Now we're not so sure. Could he have allowed himself to be replaced? Could they have changed him such that he's no longer the Bob we know? Could we now be following a false Bob, an evil Bob, a robo-Bob, a Bob 2.0? Is his religion of slack then to become like the rival cults, an evil, authoritarian, genocidal jihad, worshipping only power and anti-slack? Or, worse, will the conspiracy turn him into nothing, a product? He once empowered the SubGeniuses to free themselves from oppression. Disinformation agents have watered down and squelched his message so that his followers no longer smash through as they once did in the legendary 80s, but are now content to just ineffectually chip weakly away at the bars of their conspiracy cage. Perhaps some will even begin to love their oppressors. Indeed, to even thank Bob, to pay him for doing this to them. Has he himself become perverted and changed, mutated into an agent of shame? What horrible viral things have been introduced into this slackful Church of the SubGenius? How can Bob, our Bob, come to perform such inexplicably evil-seeming acts we have witnessed? How can these things even be? Can it get worse? Oh yes. Yes, it can. We may be looking at the ultimate evil. When any pink can make Bob into what they want, will he then become the oppressor and enslaver of the helpless and the naked? Will he become the crazed cult leader that he warned against? The new Manson who turns a generation of SubGeniuses into mindless nincompoops identical to humans? And will he then go on to achieve such unseemly ends with gullible creatures on other worlds? How much evil can Bob spread? And how much fun will he have doing so? Is Bob Dobbs then ultimately here just to fuck us? Is that Bob's real plan? Only Bob knows where we are going. Or could it be that he does not know or care, but is simply blowing bubbles and clouds of smoke up our asses for his own slack? Perhaps he is teaching us a lesson. The lesson that he is not a crutch, we are his crutch, that he is not the answer, and neither is anything else, and therefore it is up to us to find our own individual ways to slack. If this is so, then let us prove to Bob that he has taught us well. Let there be slack.